In just 3 days, European fishermen pull up 500 tons of silver mackerel, enough to fill entire cargo docks from Norway to Scotland. It looks like endless fortune from the deep, but every ton comes with sleepless nights, freezing spray, and storms that can break steel. A fish served as luxury sushi in Tokyo begins here in a world of salt, sweat, and danger. Across the North Atlantic, from Norway's icy fjords to Scotland's stormy coasts, fleets chase the shimmering shoals of mackerel every winter. In this region, fishing isn't a pastime, it's survival. The industry fuels small coastal towns, creating over 20,000 jobs and generating $500 million in trade each season. For local communities, every catch means more than money. It's identity, pride, and the heartbeat of generations. In Europe's North Atlantic waters, mackerel fishing runs on tight schedules. The season is short, and the window for large catches can close within days. Crews head out early, often before sunrise, working in teams that know each movement by routine. The process begins with locating the fish-dense schools that appear on sonar as thick shadows moving with the cold currents. Once detected, vessels position themselves carefully and release large circular nets that enclose the shoal. When the fish are gathered, the nets are drawn slowly toward the surface. The goal is to capture as much as possible without damaging the fish or the gear. Modern trawlers use hydraulic systems and vacuum pumps to transfer the catch directly from the nets into chilled seawater tanks inside the ship. The operation takes hours, and crews work continuously to monitor pressure, temperature, and flow. Every ton lifted from the sea represents hours of coordination between the deck, engine room, and bridge. The work is steady and demanding. The sea is rarely calm, and conditions can change within minutes. Fishermen rotate in shifts, handling heavy equipment and slippery decks through wind and freezing spray. Meals are quick, rest is short, and focus never drops because a single mistake can cost a haul or cause injury. Most crews complete several hauls a day, repeating the same process until the tanks are full. By the end of a 3-day trip, a single trawler can carry hundreds of tons of mackerel, kept fresh in cold seawater and ready for unloading at port. The efficiency of the process is the result of decades of refinement, combining traditional seamanship with modern technology to make large-scale fishing possible in some of the world's roughest waters. For the people who do this work, it's not a spectacle. It's a job built on precision, endurance, and respect for a resource that defines their livelihood. Once the vessels return to port, the fast pace at sea turns into an organized routine on land. The mackerel are unloaded directly from the ship's chilled tanks into long sorting lines at the dock. Workers stand side by side, separating the fish by size and quality. Larger, high-fat fish are reserved for export markets like Japan and South Korea, while smaller grades are processed for canning or local sale. Everything is done quickly to preserve freshness. Most of the fish caught in the morning are already packed or frozen by nightfall. Overseeing the process are inspectors from both national fisheries agencies and the European Union. They record the weight of every landing, and check that it matches the quotas assigned to each vessel. Every trawler operates under a strict catch limit to prevent overfishing. If a boat exceeds its quota, the excess catch can be confiscated or heavily fined. Crews take these numbers seriously, knowing that one mistake could mean losing their license for the next season. The regulations also set minimum sizes to protect young fish and ensure spawning stocks remain strong. Any undersized mackerel identified during sorting are rejected and sometimes returned to the sea if still viable. Samples are taken regularly to measure fat content, parasite levels, and general condition. This information feeds into stock assessment reports that guide the next year's catch limits. These rules can feel restrictive for fishermen who depend on steady income, but most recognize their necessity. Years ago, before the quota system, the industry faced the risk of collapse as fleets competed to catch as much as possible, as fast as possible. The current system, though complex, gives the fish populations time to recover and helps stabilize prices. For many crews, regulation has become part of the job as routine as checking weather forecasts or fuel levels. Compliance is no longer seen as interference, but as a form of insurance for the future. In the words of one captain, "Without rules, there's no next season." After sorting, the mackerel moves into a tightly controlled chain of processing and storage that runs almost without pause. Inside the factories near the harbor, the temperature is kept just above freezing. Conveyors hum as fresh fish slide through automated washing and grading systems. Workers wear insulated gloves and aprons, moving in rhythm with the machinery. Each fish is trimmed, cleaned, and packed within hours of arrival. The process is fast but precise, designed to keep the meat firm and the skin bright. Some facilities specialize in freezing and export. Here, mackerel are packed into boxes, blast frozen at -30 degrees Celsius, and stacked on pallets bound for Europe, Africa, and Asia. Others handle canning or filleting, where the fish are cooked, portioned, and sealed for supermarkets across the continent. The largest companies operate their own cold storage warehouses beside the docks, ensuring that no shipment waits longer than a few hours before transport. From the factory doors, the logistics network takes over. Trucks loaded with frozen containers move day and night toward international ports and airports. Norway and Scotland serve as major export hubs, sending thousands of tons each month to Japan, South Korea, and Nigeria, countries where Atlantic mackerel remains a key food source. The trade operates on a near-constant cycle. As one shipment leaves, another vessel arrives, keeping the supply chain in motion. This scale of operation depends on tight coordination between fishermen, processors, and exporters. Every step is tracked for traceability, from the name of the vessel to the time of freezing. The European Union's regulations demand complete transparency, allowing buyers anywhere in the world to trace a single box of fish back to the sea where it was caught. For the people working in these coastal towns, the factories are as vital as the boats. When the ships rest, the processors keep the economy alive, providing year-round jobs, steady wages, and a link between local labor and global demand. The hum of machines and the cold air inside the plants may feel far from the storms of the open ocean, but they're part of the same system, the point where raw survival turns into commerce. Across the North Atlantic, the numbers behind mackerel fishing are immense. During a typical season, fleets from Norway, Scotland, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands collectively land more than 1 million tons of mackerel. A single modern trawler can haul between 700 and 1,000 tons in just a few days, and many vessels complete multiple trips before the season closes. The scale is industrial, but tightly managed, every landing recorded, every shipment traced. At the major ports, refrigerated trucks line up through the night, waiting to move freshly caught fish to processing plants and export terminals. These operations don't stop for weather or holidays. Workers unload, sort, and reload continuously to keep the product within strict freshness limits. In some regions, the port's activity doubles during the peak harvest weeks, with fuel deliveries, ice production, and maintenance crews all working around the clock to support the flow. On the global stage, Europe remains one of the world's main suppliers of high-quality Atlantic mackerel. Much of the catch is exported to Japan, China, and West Africa, where demand for oily, protein-rich fish continues to rise. In Japan alone, Norwegian mackerel is considered a premium product for grilled dishes and sushi. Each year, these exports bring in hundreds of millions of dollars, forming a significant share of total seafood trade income for Northern Europe. But the scale isn't only economic, it's social. Entire coastal communities depend on the rhythm of these operations. Schools adjust schedules around the season. Local shops and fuel stations see their busiest months when the trawlers are active. The ports themselves become living ecosystems of workers, suppliers, inspectors, and engineers, all connected to the same chain that starts with a net in the open ocean. Despite its size, the industry remains aware of its limits. Quotas, sustainability programs, and international monitoring aim to balance economic benefit with ecological responsibility. In a world hungry for protein, these controls are what keep the system stable. The numbers are massive, but behind them are people who know that abundance, if pushed too far, can disappear just as quickly as it came. For Europe's coastal nations, mackerel is more than a fish. It's a foundation of local income and national export. The trade generates hundreds of millions of dollars every year, supporting not only fishermen, but also the factories, transport companies, and shipyards that depend on the season's success. In ports like Peterhead in Scotland or Ålesund in Norway, nearly every family has someone connected to the industry. When the mackerel season is strong, so are the town's restaurants fill, stores stay open late, and fuel stations run non-stop to keep up with the fleets. For individual fishermen, earnings vary from season to season. A good year can mean solid income enough to maintain the vessel, pay shares, and support families through the off months. A poor year, shaped by weather or quota restrictions, can cut profits in half. Crews work on a share system, where everyone, from captain to deckhand, receives a percentage of the catch's value after expenses. That system keeps motivation high. but it also means the risk is shared equally. While the economic value is undeniable, the environmental balance remains fragile. Mackerel stocks have shifted northward in recent years as the ocean warms, creating tension among nations that share the same fishing grounds. Norway, Iceland, and the European Union have often debated quota distribution, each trying to secure a fair portion without pushing the resource too far. Scientists warn that even with strict management, overfishing can happen quietly when small increases each year accumulate into long-term strain. The challenge lies in maintaining both profit and sustainability. Fishermen understand this better than anyone. They've seen what happens when a stock collapses empty nets, idle harbors, and lost generations of work. Many now support tighter monitoring and selective fishing methods, knowing that the only way to protect their income is to protect the fish. Across Europe, the industry represents a paradox. Every haul strengthens the economy, but also tests the limits of the ecosystem that sustains it. For the men and women who depend on the sea, this is the ongoing reality, a balance between feeding the world and ensuring there's still something left to catch tomorrow. In their eyes, profit and ecology aren't separate sides of a debate. They're two parts of the same survival. While mackerel dominates much of the North Atlantic fishing season, it's only one part of a much wider system that feeds Europe and the world. In nearby waters, fleets target Atlantic herring, another small pelagic fish that follows similar migration routes and sustains the same coastal economies. Herring and mackerel often share the same ports, the same processing lines, and even the same crews. When the mackerel season ends, many vessels switch gear and continue, with herring keeping their workers employed and their factories running through the winter. Further south, in the Bay of Biscay and the English Channel, smaller boats focus on anchovy and sardine, species that fuel Europe's canning industry and supply global export markets. Inland, river systems and aquaculture farms in countries like Denmark and the Netherlands complete the cycle, producing trout, mussels, and shrimp that follow the same cold chain logistics perfected by the ocean fleets. Together, these sectors form a single economic web, where each species plays a role in sustaining the others. This interconnection also means shared challenges. Changes in temperature or currents that affect mackerel stocks often disrupt other species as well. Warmer seas push fish northward, forcing nations to renegotiate boundaries and adapt to new ecosystems. For fishermen, it's not only about catching what's available, it's about adapting to what survives. The same technology and discipline that define the mackerel trade, advanced sonar, refrigeration, and quota systems, are now being applied to other fisheries across Europe, from the cod boats of Iceland to the prawn fleets of Ireland. The pattern repeats: short, intense seasons powered by experience, endurance, and precision. In the end, these industries are more connected than they appear. Each depends on the same sea, the same balance between human need and natural limit. Whether it's mackerel in the Atlantic or herring in the fjords, the story remains: the same people working against time, weather, and uncertainty to keep the world fed. In the end, the story of mackerel is not just about fishing, it's about the balance between survival and restraint, between what the ocean can give and what people choose to take. Every ton pulled from the water carries the work of hundreds of hands, the hum of engines, and the hope that the sea will provide again next year. For the coastal communities of Europe, this is more than an industry. It's a way of life passed from one generation to the next. The skills have changed. Sonar replaces instinct, steel replaces wood. But the purpose remains the same. Families depend on these waters, not only for income but for identity. When the boats leave the harbor at dawn, they carry both tradition and technology into the same uncertain sea. Scientists, regulators, and fishermen continue to search for a shared balance, one where profit doesn't erase sustainability, and modern efficiency doesn't forget human cost. The ocean's resources may seem endless, but those who work on its surface know better. The sea rewards discipline and punishes greed. As Europe's fleets prepare for another season, the question remains, how long can this balance last? Will innovation protect the future? Or will success itself become the greatest risk? This is not just the story of mackerel, it's the story of humanity's relationship with nature, industry, and survival. Subscribe to Gom Discovery, where we explore how the world's food, economy, and environment meet on the edge of the sea.